welcome to episode 82 of TerrorVision Horror Podcast, the SPOILERCAST. I'm one of your hosts, Dan McGuinness, and joining me on our midnight meat train is my co-host, Jennifer, the Dream Warrior Strand.
Toot toot!
Yeah, toot toot. Yes, each fortnight, Jennifer and I set ourselves a horror movie to watch and go through it scene by scene and spoil the fuck out of it. It's a deep dive into glorious gore, hard edits, cheesy acting, directing madness, severed wangs, and compound fractures. Together, we are two people who love horror but feel the burn of our obsolete Blockbuster membership cards. We have a rating system as well, so you're not left with a severed dick in your hand. What is that, Jen?
All right, so everybody playing at home, we have A, awesome, everybody should watch. B is our beer and chicken wing group movie. F is fun and dumb. C is a classic that's worth a watch. U is underrated. O, an overrated motherfucker. G, good for its time, but is not held up. We've got the J, Jen special, a D-grade movie only I would love. We've got the D, Dan special, a movie with lots of practical effects, dismemberment, and dicks. We've got the W, whatever, Kesha, our low-budget hot mess, C-, craft is stellar, but I hate the content. And of course, we have the McConaughey, the fucking fucked. We watched it, you don't have to.
Yeah, and this week we watched, was this my choice? I think it was.
This was your choice based on a listener request. So
yes. We did Feast.
Yes.
I find that hard to say. From
Feast.
2005, which is a pretty new movie for us, actually.
Yeah, it is. Like, we generally stick to like 80s and 90s, but that's cool. That's cool. This one's 2005. It's directed by John Gallagher, who is responsible for Piranha 3DD. So we know straight up that this movie is going to be great.
Oh, really?
Right?
I didn't know. Is that the one we watched, or is it Double D a different one?
This is Double D's the second one. It's set in a water park.
Is that supposed to be like Double D as in bra size, like big boobs?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right, great.
Screenplay is by Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, who is also responsible for writing the Piranha 3DD screenplay. It stars Eric Dane, Judah Friedlander from 30 Rock, Navi Rawat, Balthazar Getty, Jason Mewes, and of course Henry Rollins.
So we got Frank from 30 Rock.
Yes.
Henry Rollins. As like, when I saw him in it, I was like, cool, Henry Rollins. Oh, I love old Henry Rollins. But like, he's not as old as I thought. Then I'm like, oh yeah, 2005.
Yeah, he's not old man Rollins yet.
Yeah.
But that's
and
okay.
he just wasn't as brutal and big and tough as I thought he was going to be. What was his budget?
I like that. I like that about him in this. Like,
What was the budget?
So the budget was $3 million, and it came back with the US box office of $13 million. So
what? That's much money.
This is a success, but this is also one of the first films that was greenlit by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's Project Greenlight.
Hey, like my comic shop.
Yep, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought about. So this is one of those films.
It's weird that this movie was such a success, and I'd never heard of it really until it came up on streaming.
Really? See, I always remember the cover of the DVD, but I just never watched it. I don't know why.
It's because I never watched it, like even when I saw it on streaming, because it looked like one of those CG messes. You know what I mean? But there's no CG in this film.
No.
Which
This is
fucking
all
wicked.
practical. Yeah, all practical, and I love it.
What's its tagline?
Oh, they're hungry. Your dinner. Trapped. I know, it's great. Trapped in a remote tavern, a group of strangers must band together for survival. Outside the bar, a horde of ravenous, flesh-eating monsters are trying to break in and dine on the frightened humans inside.
Very much what happens in the film. Also, to the people listening, we are recording remotely this week. So if we sound different or, there's a lack of quality, we're going to go back to, back in the studio soon. But COVID is fucking us at the moment.
We're doing the right thing for everybody.
Couple of weeks of remote, and then we might probably go back to normal. So just stick with us, you turkeys.
Yeah, do it. Stick with us.
Yeah. So, okay. So the film, it opens with Super 8 footage, and we're talking about a tiny Super 8 footage shot in the middle of the film. So you're looking at like, if your screen's it's tiny. It's like a real size Super 8 in the middle of the film. And we've got like some footage of the desert and shit like that.
Yeah. We've established very quickly that we are in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Yeah.
And
then it cuts right into a car accident. I'm trying to remember back to this bit. Is this not a car crash?
Yeah, it's so quick. So like we get this Super 8 footage of the desert, we get someone scraping up roadkill, and then there's like immediately, and not Super 8, just the film, is this car crash, and then it just cuts immediately.
Just worked out what that was.
Yeah.
Like it was so irrelevant at the time that it still is irrelevant. Like when it came up, I was like, was there a car crash? I've written that in my notes, but I don't remember one. But yeah, there's a car crash. But then forget that. It cuts straight into the bar, and we get this cool Trans Am rocking up to a bar.
Oh yeah, I like pictured this as Dwight Schrute's car from The Office.
So imagine a Trans Am, and this is like a bar in like the middle of nowhere. So you got like the fucking desert, and then there's a bar. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of something like it, like not Dusk Till Dawn, but that kind of vibe. How Dusk Till Dawn was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's dirt and a bar. That is it.
Dirt bar. And out of the car comes out our first character, and we're introduced to Bozo. Now, every time they introduce a new character in this film, we get a title card.
I loved this.
Yeah, I was okay with it. There was so many.
There was, yeah.
And straight away, this film is like, it's really kind of saying, we're fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of
it's telling us that they're funny and clever.
So each title card has their name, like their occupation, their chance of survival in the film. Is that it? Is those three things? Or maybe
or a fun fact or something like that. So for instance, Bozo was like,
but his name's Bozo.
Yeah, his name's Bozo. Job, not likely. Occupation, town jackass. Life expectancy, dead by dawn. That kind of thing. Yeah,
so you get like jokes in there as well. So all the characters in this film are just named on what you would call them when you can't remember what their names are, which is great.
Which is everything that we do in all of our episodes.
Yeah, so none of the characters have any real kind of names. They're just named on what character they are within the horror genre, which I thought, that's kind of cool. Cool. And the main thing this film tries to do, which I actually think is like its downfall, is it tries to change like every outcome and stuff. It tries to make it happen what you'd not think is going to happen. Oh my God, I couldn't even talk then for the whole thing. Basically, it's trying to like make you guess what's going to happen and then not do that.
Yeah, well, because it sets you up.
I think it's actually at its like, it makes it worse in some scenes because you're just like, oh well, they were trying so hard to do that they kind of missed some good moments.
Yeah, they did, but like it works well. So yeah, we're introduced to Bozo, Harley Mum.
Oh yeah, so he walks into the bar and there's a fucking plethora of characters in here, and we get a title card for each one of them, and it goes through. Yeah. So who we got?
So we've got Harley Mum.
Harley Mum. Well, we have to talk a little bit about each one. Did you write down any of the title cards?
I wrote every one of them down.
All right, read them all out.
All right, I will read them all out. So Harley Mum, fun fact, robbing bar in 10 minutes, life expectancy, wild card. Then we're introduced to Hot Wheels, occupation, selling fireworks to 7th graders, life expectancy. They wouldn't kill a cripple, would they?
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. That's why he's called Hot Wheels.
Yeah. We've got coach, occupation, motivational speaker, reputation, the poor man's Tony Robbins, life expectancy, stay far, far away.
Yeah, and that's Henry Rollins.
That's Henry Rollins. Grandma, fun fact, Blue Mick Jagger recently. Life expectancy, maybe dead already. And I love Grandma. She's my favorite character. And
then we have just Jason Mewes.
Yep.
That's his name. But in the credits, he's credited as Wildcat.
Yeah, which is so strange.
Or something wild. Is it Wildcat? It had cat in the name. Sketchy Cat or something like that.
Yeah. Occupation, actor. Life expectancy already surpassed expectations, which is clever.
And then we have Beer Guy, which is played by Ross from 30 Rock.
Yep. Occupation, beer guy and part-time host at Red Lobster. Life expectancy, loser and dorks go first. He's both.
Then we have bartender.
Yep. Fun fact, shot 4 times, stabbed 6 times, bit by 1 squirrel. Life expectancy, horrifying death in 70 minutes.
Then we have Tuffy.
Occupation, career waitress. Job, single mum. Life expectancy, expects nothing from life.
So I got a couple of the lady characters confused halfway through the film. Did you? I got Harley
Little
Mum and Tuffy confused. I'm like, who they are?
Yep. No,
And then
that's fair.
we have vet, as
Yep.
in Vietnam vet.
Yep. Fun fact, he's never had fun. Life expectancy, don't ask, don't tell.
Exactly. Then we have boss man.
Vibe is mean, stoned, and horny. Life expectancy, regular or extra crispy.
So that dude's like, he's like, if you want a vision of him, he's like a fat, bearded, bikey man.
Yep.
He's a
He
gross
owns
cunt.
the bar. Yeah, he is
then
a
we
gross
have
cunt.
honey pie.
Occupation, actress / singer / dancer / model. Fun fact, dying to get out of town. Life expectancy, may get her wish.
And then we have Cody.
Yep. Occupation, tax break. Skill, can fit into tight spaces. Life expectancy, a wonderful full life. Now Cody is a child.
Yeah, he's a little kid.
Point that out.
And he's like the child of Tuffy. Which made me like confused because Harley Mum has mum in her name. So I was just like, is that? Yeah, that's where I got confused. Anyhow, so that's all the characters at the moment. And that's all just like bang, 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 bang. And I read them all. I laughed. I was like, oh yeah, this could be okay.
And it's good. It sets up the characters in less than 5 minutes, so we don't have like to spend the whole film of. It just
wants to get to the kills because they have so many characters and they have to kill them all. Well, they don't have to, but you know what I mean. Like,
but they want to.
I did straight away notice this film was very dark. When you watched it dark?
Yeah, that was one of my complaints. Is it's really dark. It's got that very 2000s yellow grain to it as well. So I had a lot of trouble.
And especially once later on in the film when the lights go out and then you're just like, I just want to see the gore. Don't hide it from me, you fuckers.
Yeah, anyhow, I need monsters, I need gore, and you're making it hard.
Yeah, and they had it there. Like, they didn't have to hide it. Like, there was nothing, like... Anyhow, we'll get into that. Anyhow, so we cut to... all that's done, and now we just start the film, basically. Bozo fucking strolls in. He's playing pool with Jay.
Yep.
And there's some banter, and Jay's just Jay. He's not really Jay, actually. He's kind of a boring version of himself.
Yeah, he's just like... He's there playing pool in the middle of...
He's trying to act, even though he's supposed to just be himself.
Yeah. Funny. We've got Coach. He's kind of cracking on to Honey Pie because Honey Pie is this really sort of cute gal. But he fucks up and he drops his wedding ring in front of her.
Yeah, which is hidden in his wallet.
Like, yeah, and he's just she just bails on him. It's fine.
Tuffy is like hard up on Cass, so she goes upstairs to like bang the boss man. I think to pay her bar tab.
Yeah, possibly. Like, I'm not sure. Like.
And she puts Cody the kid like on the PlayStation, whatever, and then goes into the next room and bangs like that kind of gross scenario.
Yeah. She's just like on her phone or like doing something, doing her taxes, and he's just like fucking her from behind.
Yeah. And I was kind of off that straight away. I was like, yeah, gross. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, she's doing everything she can. She's a single mom, but And
there's a little bit of banter between all characters that none of them would be in this bar. Like, especially the wheelchair guy. He is just like the wheelchair guy from Texas Chainsaw.
Pretty much, yeah.
But he did look so much like very young Jason Lee. It was
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like looking at him going like, is that like Jason Lee's son or something? Like,
is it because they couldn't afford Jason Lee?
Well, Jason is too old.
Well, he was, yeah.
Other than that, he reminded me of the stoner guy from Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that kind of look. Like, so he was clearly the best looking character in the film. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
If you don't count the women, which I'm not, because I never do, because I'm all about hunky boys.
Hunky boys. We're all about hunky boys.
Maybe I am into hunky boys.
We get this like weird, like Evil Dead style POV sort of shot of something moving towards the bar.
Oh yeah, like yeah. So we got that, and then all of a sudden, bam! Here, a dude bursts in the thing. Who's very Chris Hemsworth. What's his fucking name? Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, like him kind of vibe, man, bursting in.
He's blonde and hunky.
Yeah, and he's just like, they're like, what? He's got a shotgun. He's bloodied up. He's like, motherfuckers. There's a fucking bunch of monsters coming here. Call the army. Call the fucking everything. Blah 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 blah. Fucking, we got to barricade this bar up. Everyone looks at him and they're like, "Who are you?" and he turns around and then he gets his title card, which is hero.
It's hero, occupation, kicking ass, life expectancy, pretty fucking good. I like that.
And I was like, yeah, cool. Go with the shotgun, burst in, good looking.
Yeah. He's our hero. This is great. I love this.
They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He holds up a fucking head of a monster. He's chopped off a head of one of these fucking ghoulies.
Yep.
And it's cool. We don't actually get a good look at it, which I was like, come on, show us.
I know, like that's another one of my complaints for the whole film is the design was really cool, but I didn't get a lot of it.
Yeah, like the monsters looked good. Like, show me.
Yeah,
show me. And I just reckon the bar just needed to be better lit. Like, that's all it was. Like, yeah. So yeah, he's like, yeah, fuck, I got these. This is one of the monsters coming. There's 4 more.
It was 4, yeah.
But I'm sure there was only 3. Hey.
Yeah, it's weird. He's like, they're fast, nasty, and hungry. There's 4 of them. They're coming. He's like, we call anyone who can kick ass. Get them out here.
And then they're like,
what? Like, who are you? Like, what are you doing here? And he's like up against the window because that's the safe place to do your fucking monologue.
He does his like hero turnaround, look at the camera.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm the guy that's going to save your ass. Just as a fucking monster bashes through and like rips his head off.
Yeah. So basically he's the first to die. Like, so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to like go, okay, these are the horror tropes and characters, but we're going to fuck with them all. Yeah. So yeah, basically as soon as you said, I'm the guy that's going to save your ass, a monster from outside grabs him kind of like its arm through a hole, pulls him outside and bites his head off, which looks great.
Yeah.
And his fucking body falls to the floor. It's pissing out fucking blood. And like Honey Pie's standing there and it's all just hitting her in the face and stuff. And you're
it's just someone off screen just shooting, like throwing buckets of blood at her. But it sets off this whole chain reaction because like she's covered in blood. It knocks off the bartender who's got his gun. He shoots off a round which like goes through the roof and shoots Boss Man in the foot.
When he's fucking Tuffy
when
upstairs.
He's fucking Tuffy. She, runs off and shoves Cody in the closet. And then they all kind of start to run downstairs.
Yeah. And then so they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, like Boss Man comes down and he's like, who the fuck shot my leg? or whatever. And he's like, oh, that guy there. And he's like, got no head. No, I can't remember what happened. Anyhow.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
And then all of a sudden another character bursts in the door.
Yeah.
And it's a lady and very exactly the same style as the hero. She bursts in. She has her own shotgun.
Yep.
And she's like, where the fuck's my husband?
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Her husband's gone.
And does she get a title card yet?
Not yet.
All right, cool. So, Tuffy's popped Cody in the closet now. So he's upstairs in the closet. Everyone has run downstairs. So only Cody is upstairs. This is a movie. It really relies on like there's groups of people in certain places at certain times, which was kind of cool. I like that kind of that brain dead style of like, there's shit happening at all times everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it kind of reacts with each other.
Yeah, it's never stopping. There's not a slow, dull moment. But they all start barricading the windows. The Vietnam vet or the military guy, he gets up, he's like trying to hold up the window properly, and then he gets fucking clawed right through the chest. Yeah, so through the back, out the front. Oh, it's so good. There's blood and everything everywhere.
Yeah, so if you can imagine, he like a monster kind of smashes through the barricade, and it's, at the moment, all the monsters are at arms. If you know what I mean, they're just coming through, like big claw. Yeah, smashes straight through the Vietnam vet, and fucking once again, blood splats all over Honey.
Poor Honey.
Honey Pie just keeps getting splattered with all the blood. That's just her role.
It's so
and I'm like, because straight away you're kind of like, oh yeah, the Vietnam vet, he's gonna survive. That's the character, and they've killed off the main 2 characters. And as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, so this film is trying to. I can't guess. It's kind of doing a scream on who's gonna survive.
Yeah, which is trying to make
it. Yeah, Vietnam vet goes down, he's dead. So there's 2 corpses in the room.
And then this little fucking fast little fucker comes in.
Yeah, it's through the window. A little monster.
It's kind of like someone just stood outside and like pelted it through the window as well, and it just starts running around.
Yeah, so this thing's like small, as in like it's only like 2 foot tall, and you're like, oh, okay, rad. So like there's a big monster outside, and now there's a little monster inside. I'm like, oh, they're different sizes. That's cool.
I like
thought
that.
I was like, yeah, cool, different monsters. Like
Yep.
I can deal with that. And there's only 4 of them, so each monster's gonna have like different powers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Abilities.
Like, so this one's small and fast, and the one outside, which I called outside monster, is like big, and he's like trying to get in, and he's like the arm. He's like the trees in Evil Dead. He's guarding the outside so they can't get out. And I'm like,
I
cool.
like that. We've established. So Harley mum, she pulls out her gun. She starts trying to shoot at it.
She had a gun because she was going to rob the place.
Exactly. But it's so fucking fast, and it just runs past her and just like shing. And it just cuts her leg right off.
Yeah.
And of course,
right off at the fucking above the knee as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not like,
so
like, and she's there fucking grabbing her leg going, ah! We got a bloody stump squirting fucking blood everywhere, and like, rad. And the blood looks good. The blood's that dark red shit, and it goes everywhere, and it's everywhere. They're fully into their blood.
She shoots the payphone.
Oh, so now the phone's out.
Now there's no phones, which is fantastic. Meanwhile, Grandma's still sitting there. She just doesn't seem at all fazed by what's happening. She's just, she's still drinking a white wine spritzer or whatever she's having, which is, I like her. She's just literally doing nothing the whole film.
Yeah, she's lived her best life. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is where she's going to die. She's going to die. And then so like, everyone's like starting to panic. Where the fuck is it? Jay's like there. He's like at the pool table. And then you see like a flash like go past Jay, and suddenly his face is ripped off.
I know. It's so good. His whole fucking face is ripped off. It's just like all this like muscle mass of his face. Just
like Hellraiser style, like, just
so good.
And he's running around with his face fucking torn off. But at this point, I suddenly realized that, oh my God, in all the action so far, they start doing close-up shaky cam.
Yeah. And
I was like, just give me some fucking static shots of what's going on. I can't quite grasp what's happening. Yeah. And it's not as if they're doing shaky cam to hide they have bad effects or anything, because they don't.
No, they've got fantastic effects. I think it might have something to do with the budget, because obviously, like, you've got to put all this time and effort into it, and I think the more time you've got trying to maneuver a monster puppet, it's going to cost more and more money. So they're probably doing the best that they can with the budget.
I mean,
even
they could
though they've
do
got such great monsters.
They could do some bits with that, but they did all of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like and I was like, you're fucking going everywhere with your camera. But fine, it's fine because I get to see blood and gore. Yeah. Anyhow, there's a bar fridge there, and eventually the monster kind of gets thrown or something or whatever. It gets locked in the bar fridge, and the bartender comes up and locks it with a padlock. So it's in there going, it's a little monster in the fucking thing.
Yeah. But what you neglect to state is the bartender he's trying to shoot at it. And then, while he's trying to like pop off a few rounds at it, he accidentally shoots Muse in the chest. And
did he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I always wondered what happened to his character. I must have blinked because there was so much shaky cam. I probably closed my eyes to readjust.
And then the reason he manages to shoot the monster in the end is because it is literally up, like face fucking a taxidermy deer head on the wall, and he's able to like aim, shoot it, and it drops down into that freezer.
Yeah, so the monsters.
So this thing's like fast and horny as fuck.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to establish. Little sexy monster. Anyhow, so then the outside monster's arm like reaches in and fucking grabs like the hero's decapitated body and fucking starts to drag him out. And then we get the lady, like whoever we assume is like his wife. She fucking runs up and tries to grab the body. Don't take my husband even though he's dead. And she ends up just grabbing his wedding ring, kind of pulling it off.
Yeah.
Keep his wedding ring. And then the monster kind of like pulls the body through the window and stuffs it all up. And
then we kind of hear this like roar and like guttural thing, and we sort of establish that something bigger is on its way as well. So once again, they try to, I can't fucking count how many times they're like, let's barricade this shit up, and they're trying to barricade everything up every 5 fucking minutes. If you'd have done it to begin with, you'd be fine.
Yeah, they're like, oh, maybe we should really barricade it up now.
Let's do a thing.
Half-ass barricade.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the gang regroups downstairs.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fuck, monsters. And then Tuffy's like, oh shit, I left my kid upstairs in a cupboard.
Oh God.
And so they all run upstairs and they're like, Cody, where the fuck are you? He's not in the cupboard.
No.
He's just next to the cupboard.
He's like hidden behind the TV, just very inconspicuously, but it's just terrible. And she's holding him, she's loving, she's like, oh, my baby, like, I love you and nothing will ever hurt you. But suddenly the fucking monster just breaks through the window and picks him up and eats him.
So I called this monster Big Outside Monster because this is on the second floor and this monster is level with them.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is what I thought at this point. It looked like, so the monster smashes through the window, the Big Outside Monster, and we can see it has like a horse skull or something as its face, and it's got furs all over it. So the monsters kind of have clothes on, which is kind of cool, which I have never seen done. Monsters never get dressed, but these monsters have like some sort of ritualistic fucking dress, or they kind of reminded me of the monsters in what's that? M. Night Shyamalan, The Village.
Oh yeah,
the big fucking. They kind of look like the Skeksis when the Skeksis are, they're big and bulky things with a fucking big skull on the front, and you don't know what they are. And I don't know who you are. You don't look like the little one that just jumped in and faced the fucking thing on the wall. And it grabs Cody, and we see it. His whole the thing just eats all of him. Yeah, and then you're like, John, see you around, kid.
It's so glad. His long life, fuck it. He gone.
They've killed off the kid who usually was, which I'm great because now they don't have to protect the kid. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Fucking mum goes ballistic.
Bartender shoots off a round and it hits the horn off of this thing, and it just starts vomiting this like green slime all over Big Guy.
Yeah, so Big Guy's just standing there, and this thing is fucking projectile vomiting green slime into my mouth. I'm like, what's going on? This is wicked. I've called Big Outside Monster from this time BOMB as the acronym, the bomb monster. He's the bomb.
I like that, yeah.
So the fucking bomb's just vomiting fucking green shit all over fucking Beer Guy, and Beer Guy's just like, so if you don't know who this actor is, he's kind of like slightly overweight. He's got long hair. He always wears a hat with like a funny saying on it, which is weird because he does it in 30 Rock and he does it in real life, that guy.
Yeah.
That's his schnick. And he's just getting covered in this shit. And it's just like, gross.
So good.
And then it stops and he's like, wipe. He's like, fuck, that's gross. And then it does it again. It does it twice.
Just keeps going.
He doesn't get out the way.
Yeah. Well, that's his own stupid fault. So they all kind of go running back down the stairs.
No, that doesn't. I thought it was acid. It's not. It's just vomit.
Well, yeah, because that's what I thought as well. But no, he's downstairs. He's trying to wipe it off and wash it off. But he's also covered in maggots. So there's maggots all up his nose. He's trying to
and they use real maggots as well.
They really do.
Well, maggots aren't gross characters. They're not like flies. Maggots are really clean. They use maggots in like surgery and things. Like if you've got a festering wound, they put maggots on it in hospital, and they still do it because maggots only eat deceased flesh. They don't eat live flesh. So they clean up every bit of bad like flesh, and leave only the good flesh left. So apparently that's the thing they still do because they just fucking do it so well, and they're clean. When they're maggots, like they've probably got medical maggots, maggots that have had a good upbringing, they haven't been exposed to like, bad influences, grossness. Like any fucking teenage flies or anything like that.
I love that.
But that's a thing in real life, which to me is fucking, if they said we're gonna have to put maggots on you, I'd be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, like what have you done?
Just amputate my leg.
Well, they obviously can't use medical science to help you. That they need to fuck words, man.
They need to go back to
maggots.
The Dark Ages.
Something's wrong with you.
Anyhow, maggots. There's maggots in the vomit. It's all over him. It's in his hair. He's trying to wash it out in the sink. You can see maggots all in the sink. And I'm like, cute.
But also I really like as well that like the bartender's trying to help him, wash it off in the sink, and he's got one of those like hoses, but it's just such a trickle of water that it's just not doing anything for him. If anything, it's making him worse.
Well,
but he does
it's a drink one to do the water, and those things are synonymous with being really just trickly, and they take ages.
Yeah, we do establish as well that it's burning him, so he has established a couple of times that it is starting to burn.
Well, it's stomach acid. But we
possibly.
get introduced finally to the lady who's been came in with her husband, and she has a title card, and her name is Heroine.
Yes. Occupation, wears tank top. Tote shotgun, save day. Life expectancy, hopefully better than the last hero.
So Heroine is now fucking in charge. And they decide that we're gonna do all these bodies that the blood makes them go crazy. Let's hide, as in the monsters. I think they established that at one stage, don't they? That they want to they can smell the blood. So they dump all the bodies in the beer basement. And if you don't know what a beer basement is, a bar has a place where they drop off the kegs, and they usually drop them off through a chute kind of thing. The Exeter has it. They all kind of have it.
Yeah. And then we get a really cool lock it down montage. So we get another fucking lockdown montage.
Barricade montage.
This time, it's them, they're nailing boards to the windows, and it's all done to cool rock music. And
it took 3 deaths for them to go, maybe we should really barricade.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll do something.
Yeah, just imagine the A-Team music. Yeah. To someone fucking barricading up a bar. So they're done. They've finally barricaded up the bar after all that.
And of course, the baby monster starts moving around in the cooler.
And they're like, we got to fucking kill that monster. We got to kill that monster. Because,
Boss Man unloads a couple of shots and it stops moving. But then
does he open it? No, he just shoots. No, he just shoots at the fridge.
At it. And then it reaches its hand out, grabs his leg. Then Tuffy grabs the shotgun, and she sort of she fucking blasts the shit out of it as well. She's like,
she rams the shotgun into the hole that it made when it burst its arm out to grab fucking Boss Man. And she just unloads the shotgun into this fucking fridge, and we hear the fucking.
Yeah. It's so good. And then we establish that that's the fucking little one. Oh God, we're in trouble if that's the little one. Then Coach Henry Rollins, he tries to hatch a motivational plan because he's a motivational speaker. And he's like, I've got a plan. Don't worry, guys. It's fine. I know what's up. And he basically impales it with a pool cue.
Yeah, the little so his plan is to if we show that we're fucking humans and we're tough, they'll get scared and they'll realize that we are top of the food chain. So that his idea is to show them we killed one of you. Look at we're scary. So he impales they open the fridge and it's just a fucking massive monster meat. I love that. Yeah. They wedge it onto a pool cue.
And then he rips out the window. And he's holding it up, and one of the monsters literally rips it out of his hands. So now they have their baby, and he's like, "Oh no!" They're made a mistake with that.
They're looking at the monsters. They're kind of looking at the baby monster. They're moving its head around. I was like, "Why aren't you alive?" And then someone's like, "Oh my god, it's a baby! We just killed its baby."
But then rather than mourning the death of their monster baby, it eats it. And they eat it. Then they start fucking and immediately birth out another one.
Yeah, the monsters start humping. And it's funny because the wheelchair guys that are looking out the window are those monsters humping? Yeah, and then so I've never seen monsters hump in a film to make more monsters.
And it's as well, like I say, the comedy is pretty good in this film because they're up against this car and it sets off the car alarm. And Grandma just reaches into her purse, pulls out her car key and just boop, boop, and just turns it off. And
then just keeps drinking. All she does is just drink at the bar. They're humping. The gives birth to another little monster. And then so now we're back to 3 monsters. Yep.
Oh dear. 3. So the heroine, she starts telling the story of how she came across them. They hit something on the road. They thought it was roadkill. Then they sort of just moved it. But
they also go into this. She goes into the story that they dropped her daughter off at a monastery or something, and then they were I'm like, what were you doing? Why did you drop your daughter off?
Oh, they were clearly out for a night on the town, and they dropped their daughter off at her grandmother's house or something,
which is down the road kind of thing. Yeah, and then they hit one of the monsters in the car, and that's where it starts because
Yeah.
and that's the one that they had the head of.
Yeah,
They didn't even kill it.
Roadkill Revenge.
Yeah, all right, that's dumb. Story of her.
But because the grandma is just sort of doing nothing, Bozo starts accusing her of knowing what's up. He's like, you fucking just sitting here. You're not fazed by any of this. You're an old lady. You've been here fucking forever. You know the lay of the land. You know all the stories. Like, what the fuck is up?
He's like, you're old and old people know things.
Yeah. And he's trying to establish himself as the guy that should be in charge. And he has a terrible haircut. So he's never going to be in charge of anything.
He's still a big dude, though. He's quite
he's a big dude. Yeah.
He could be the main character. Like, in another movie, he could redeem himself kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they establish he's a fuckhead as well. Like,
yeah. Oh, he is a fuckhead. Beer guy, his skin is literally starting to crawl. And at one point, like, how does he get, like, his eyeball gets ripped out? Is it?
No, that's way down the track.
Is it?
Yeah. So basically, he starts to he goes, dude, I think I'm sick. And he starts to go puffy and bloated. And everyone's like,
yeah.
Ugh. And the gang, the gang doesn't trust each other now. They kind of start arguing. I know why they don't trust each other. They kind of start, because they're all like people that don't like each other.
Yeah.
And also, Bozo and Hot Wheels are brothers, which is only like established right near the end, but it's inconsequential anyway. And then we see. It actually does happen here. So beer guy like looks at his skin and we see shit moving under his skin, like big blood, which never comes up again.
No, at some point I thought his skin was going to burst and he'd have like little baby monsters, like little teeny tiny ones.
Yeah. And I think they were alluding. I think they alluded to a lot of things and they never followed through with the ideas in this film.
Yeah.
Like, there's something moving under his skin, and then like the beer guy, he's looking out, like he's still fucked. He's looking out the window. He's looking to see like the monsters, what's going on. And like he goes, oh, I think they're gone. Well, I think we're going to be okay. No, he's looking out and he's like relying on the army's going to come.
The National Guard, they're all coming. We're safe. It's fine.
And they're like, get away from the window. He goes, no, the army will be here in like 1 second. He looks out and then suddenly we see this monster kind of like looking in the hole as well. And then we see like him going, ah! And it's grabbed his eye and it's pulled out his eye out of his eye socket. And it's just attached by its fucking nerve ending. Like,
yeah. And it's just like, it's just like, you can see it starting to like tense and then break and everything. And he's just, this fucking poor guy. He's just, everything is happening.
He was a great character. And then, it doesn't get chewed off. It has to like stretch and break off. And it takes fucking ages.
Oh, yeah. This is just blood, this slime.
And now he's like melting. He's lost his eye.
Oh man, he's just having a ride.
And while this is happening, kind of everyone panics and backs back. And the coach, which I found a weird name, coach, because he seems like he's going to be like the football coach, but he's like a motivation. Henry Rollins, coach man, backs up against the wall, and the monster grabs him from outside and just rips his pants off. So now he's lost all of his cred. Like he's standing there without any pants.
He's got his tidy whities on. So, Henry Rollins, he's a big kind of guy. And he's just standing there in a white shirt and some tidy whities. It's fine.
Beer guy he's lost his eye. They bandage up his eye and he lays down on the pool table and kind of passes out from pain and sickness.
Yeah. So they established that they're all starting to run low on bullets. Like, there's more in the basement, possibly, but we also need to try and go upstairs and get the radio that can help us get word to the outside kind of thing. Honey Pie, she picks up a gun off the floor and finds a bullet, and she's trying to figure out how to put the bullet in the gun. She's just trying to push it in the front. Through the front. I'm like,
they're establishing she's really
she's a bit ditzy.
They're trying to go like ditzy, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so then they decide they hatch a plan.
Yeah.
So there's two plans. One is two people are going to go down to the basement and get some ammo.
Yep. More
ammo. And the second plan is people are going to go upstairs and get the CB radio or to call for help. So Heroin and Tuffy go down into the basement for ammo. And Bozo and the bartender and
coach
go upstairs to get the CB radio to call for help. And their plan is that they're going to lock the coach. I mean, they're going to lock Bozo in the room. So, if he dies, the monsters won't get a key. Assuming the monsters can use keys, but it wouldn't matter anyway because they've barricaded the fucking place. up anyway. But yeah, great plan.
Yeah, it's a great plan. Now, do you at this point find, because like there's a few little moments in the film where the heroine seems like she's being really suspicious?
Yeah. She keeps looking at her locket,
but nothing really came of it.
No, there's a heap. Like I said, there's a heap of broken. And I think what they were trying to do was give you red herrings.
Yeah.
To make you think, oh, it's going to be this because of that, because they're acting like they. But in the end, it just turned out to be like unanswered stories that you just like, well, that was empty and vacuous, like, and a waste of my fucking time and thought. So the heroine, like, she's got a secret, and we don't know what it is, and I'm like, is it going to be, the kid is actually, because she keeps on talking about getting to her kid, we need to get to my kid, and like, is the kid going to be the fucking patient zero to these monsters or some shit? Who gives a fucking shit?
It could be something, but nothing comes of it.
Anyhow.
Bozo's upstairs. He finds a hidden compartment in the closet, and he is immediately attacked by a bat, shits his pants like a little bitch. And
there's
then
a big giant bat in the room.
Yeah, why not? Why not, indeed?
Yeah.
He starts calling for help
on the CB on Channel 9.
Yep, Channel 9 CB radio. But the monster rips it out of his hands, and he makes
the bomb monster, the big outside monster,
bomb monster.
The bomb.
He makes a break for it. Bartender's trying to unlock the door, but unfortunately the fucking key breaks in the door. No, the monster's getting close. But then the heroine, she kind of just runs up from the basement, runs up.
Yeah, they just get the ammo and it's fine. Nothing happens.
No, they're good.
They just walk downstairs, get the ammo, come back up. Why did you need a massive scene?
I do.
Say that you're gonna go. They could have said, "I'm just gonna go down and get the ammo. You guys do that." Like it seemed like there was gonna be a scene in the basement.
Yeah,
and this never happened.
No, it's fine. But she runs upstairs. She picks the lock and gets him out. Not a problem.
She picks the lock. She pulls the bartender's sexy earring out.
That's right. She does
to pick the lock.
And then
the monster breaks through the wall. Like the big monster from outside, it breaks in, but Bozo just gets out in time, and they lock
just in time. They slam the door. What do they slam it on, Dan?
They slam the door shut just as Bozo gets out, and it is the monster's dick gets caught in the door. The big fucking monster cock, and then they slam, and then they fucking get it with a machete, and they chop the dick off, and the dick and balls of this monster like roll down the hole somehow, go down the stairs into the bottom room, and then fucking slide into the middle of the room under the wheelchair of Hot Wheels, and he just panics and does like circles, going, the dick's gonna get me. And there's dicks that's there on the ground flopping around, big monster cock, and then like Bozo comes down, hero guts, and fucking stomps the dick into mush. And I'm like, cool.
This movie has everything for you, Dan. This is like your perfect movie.
But I didn't enjoy it that much.
What?
I was fine with it. I was like, cool. But like, I don't know. I kept thinking they kept shying away from the best moments in the film. They didn't deliver enough. Like they've got the best gore scenes, and they kind of just do a shaky camera around all the gore. And I was anyhow, that was done. And it was just I think it was just because it was dark. I wanted to look at the dick. I wanted to see.
I wanted some real close up of the dick. I wanted to
because it was a weird looking dick. It went to like a point, like an animal's dick.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all right. Next time.
And then they're like, fuck, and they're like, oh man, the monsters are gonna get in, and they're like, no, it's cool. Like they need a crowbar to get into this place, and suddenly the monsters start using human fucking fibia bones.
Something
big leg bones as like crowbars and smashing through the fucking
they're trying to break through the walls and the barricades, and as they're doing this, like Beer Guy is alive
somehow,
and he sort of sits up and he's like hatches a plan. He's like, we should go through the basement hatch door, like they haven't
the keg door.
They haven't figured out that that's there yet, so they kind of come up with this plan that they
I didn't quite understand this plan because they didn't seem to do it.
No,
I
thought they kind of got distracted.
The plan is like we're gonna distract.
Yes.
like the monsters in this room by giving them something to eat.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you guys are going to go downstairs, get out the beer chute, and then run to the truck, which is parked out the front, which Boss Man owns, like a truck, like a fucking, a truck.
Yeah.
And then you're going to drive while the monsters are distracted, eating like one of the corpses from downstairs. We'll all run into the truck and we'll drive off.
Yes.
And then they're also like, why don't we also fucking attach a bomb to one of the corpses so we can blow one of them up or some shit?
Yeah.
So they make a bomb somehow out of some shit and they attach it. They go downstairs and they get the fucking Harley mum who's died from her leg wound.
Yes.
And they wrap her around in like the most amount of explosives I've ever seen.
Yes. Well, they're in the middle of nowhere. Like, obviously, they've got dynamite just laying around. Yeah. Is what they do.
And then and also fucking Hot Wheels is making Molotov cocktails and shit. And like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway. So the plan is that they're going to drag the body upstairs.
Yep.
And then, because there's a monster upstairs.
Yes.
They're going to make the monster grab the body, and then that's going to, but they said their bomb is though like electric, so they have to plug it in. So they're going to need a big extension cord.
Yep. So
they drag her upstairs. So fucking Boss Man and Bozo.
Yep.
Drag the girl
Harley
Mum upstairs.
Yep.
But just as they're about to fucking ditch her out, she wakes up and she's not dead.
No.
She's just passed out.
Fucking just passed out.
And they're like, what the fuck? And so Bozo's like, fuck, we got to get her out. And Boss Man's like,
nah.
Yeah, he's like, nah, to save his own skin. She's like,
she's already dead.
She's dead. He goes,
yeah.
She's not dead. She's fucking dead. Shut the fuck up. And they start having a fight or some shit. And then then the monster grabs Harley Mum anyway.
Rips her out the window. So the extension cord is going with it, and Bozo grabs the cord. Meanwhile, the baby monster's got her downstairs she's now outside in the dirt, and it's fucking her face. Yeah,
so she gets dragged out, and the next scene we see is her like from a bird's eye view of her laying on the ground, and the little fucking monster is just giving birth. This fucking latches onto her face and starts humping her mouth. Yeah. And then he jumps off and she just vomits up a fucking bucket load of cum. And I was like, oh, that seemed a bit unnecessary.
It was unnecessary. Like I all for a little puppet monster, humping, but
I just thought the vomiting up the cum was like
that was a bit much.
I was just like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a bukkake scene of people vomiting up like animal cum. I was like, who thinks that's funny?
Yeah, I don't know.
She was like panicking and crying and like in agony and but a bomb strapped to her. And I'm like,
yeah. And then, she does.
I would have preferred a tearing apart scene there. Give me another cool gore scene.
Yeah. I mean, it could have fucked her face and then ripped it off. I don't know.
Or it could have fucked her head that's been ripped off. I would have said maybe like a stump fuck.
Yeah. Could have gone with a stump fuck. Anyway.
I know. Anyhow,
they finally get the cords and they light her up.
She blows explodes.
Up.
And we assume that's taken out a monster.
We assume.
But we don't know which, like the little monster. Yeah, so that takes out the new birth monster.
Yeah.
So that monster's gone. So I think there's there's still 3 monsters left.
Yes. The lights are out. The generators kick in, which means that it is just
darker.
So much darker. And then the coach, he makes a break for it, and so does the heroine. Also, I kind of forget.
Yeah, as in that's their cue. That's their cue to go get the truck.
That's right. So they've left. But we also forget to mention that Coach has had his pants ripped off, but now he's got a pair of bright pink track pants on. So Henry Rollins is wearing a pair of bright pink track pants.
Yeah, the manliest man.
Yes, the manliest of all men.
Now, I don't quite understand what happened here. Like, it seems like no one did the plan.
No.
So Bozo and Boss Man start fighting because Bozo's going to, I don't know, fucking who cares? There's a moral dilemma.
Yeah, they're fighting. Heroine, she kind of runs back to the door and she starts screaming. She's like, let me back in.
Yeah, why didn't she go fucking do the plan?
I don't know. Beer guy, he's pulled a gun. He's like, no, you wouldn't let me out. No one's getting in. Fuck you guys. Like, this is not okay. Tuffy comes up, headbutts him, takes the gun. And then at this point as well, like Bossman and Bozo are still upstairs fighting. And they're in the basement. They're somewhere. And she fucking comes in behind. The heroine comes in behind.
Yeah. So, no, they've stopped fighting. They've stopped fighting and they're like getting their shit together. And then the heroine kind of like, because they wouldn't let her in, she's gone to the next story and whacked on the window to let her in. And that scares Bozo. He turns around and shoots heroine with a fucking magnum. And she's dead. But then she gets eaten straight away. So she goes, oh, I've been shot. I'm dead. And then gets pulled out of the window and eaten. And then they're like, Boss Man is like, now we both got secrets.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's just fucking Boss Man is fuckhole.
Yeah. And Grandma's like, she's going to have none of this. She just reaches over the bar, grabs a bottle of fucking schnapps or whatever, and then goes and walks casually and locks herself in the fucking meat freezer.
Yeah. Man, I love her.
So she's out. I think it was a freezer.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the storage lockers or something.
So now heroine's gone, and then Tuffy turns around with her shotgun looking all tough, and she's now changed her character. She gets a new title card as Heroine 2.
Occupation, childless mother. Fun fact, dealing with the loss fairly well. Life expectancy, let's all hope for the best this time.
Yeah, so we got a new there's a third main character now.
Yeah.
She's gone through a metamorphosis. So then this is kind of like rearing up now to the last scene now, like the standoff. So we're all down in the main room. Monsters, like a monster now bursts through the floor.
Yeah, so there's so Boss Man, he's like laying on the floor because he's like obviously being shot in the foot. He's like game over, man. He's done for. He's just like, we're just gonna lay here. But yeah, they're bursting through the floor. So he gets a claw through the fucking chest. Yeah,
but this is like a burst up, like fucking, hand up through a fucking a prosthetic body with fucking guts and gore. It splats all over fucking Honey Pie's face. A good gore scene. Yeah, and this is all practical. All practical. Gallons of blood, gallons of latex. You can tell that's what they wanted to. They've kind of approached this film with an idea of how I would approach if I got to make a horror film, except I would be way less shaky cam. And I always appreciate a horror film that's set in the daytime so you can see what's fucking...
yes, same.
Like Dawn of the Dead, man. Fucking shopping mall. Horror. It's all lit up. You can see all that gore. Yeah,
more gore, but it rips him down into the basement.
Yeah, so kind of now folds him in half and pulls him down.
Yeah, so there's a big old hole in the middle of this bar room as well.
But not big enough for a monster to get through.
Not quite.
Because we assume that the monsters now come in through the keg hole.
Yeah. So the monster's downstairs.
We got a monster downstairs. We got a monster upstairs, and we got a monster outside.
We've got 2 monsters outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the one upstairs is still just grabbing people through a window, which I don't know why anyone goes near that window.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just grabs like stop. A couple of people now. So Hot Wheels falls over in his wheelchair right next to the hole, and he's like scared of the hole. Nothing really eventuates from that, though.
No, Bozo comes and picks him up and puts him on something so he's out of the way.
And Bozo...
and they start to barricade up the hole.
Bozo drags a fucking jukebox over the hole.
Uh-huh.
Hole is solved.
Done.
Done.
Perfect. Thanks, jackass.
But
then they kind of get this screaming.
No, they hear a sound outside. And they're like, Coach, he did it. He got to the car. And they all look out through a little peeky hole and they're like, you just see the monsters have got the coach and they're running him forward as a battering ram. Yeah. So good. And, they smash, blood splatting in through the cracks. I'm like, yeah, cool. I felt they could have done this funnier. Like,
yeah, I think wide shot Henry of the Rollins door would have been okay with that as well.
Or even just a wide shot of the door and just have them pushing fucking heaps of blood through on each hit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go overboard with that shit. But they didn't really. And then you just like, I suppose he's dead. Like, there's no corpse. You don't see anything. Anyway, apparently he's dead. And then, fucking hell, some fucking plan that they've devised out of nowhere, which makes no fucking sense. They have set up so an apparatus made of a ladder, ropes, suspended from the ceiling, where they're gonna roll kegs down a ladder into monsters when they break in. Like the most unthreatening kegs. Like kegs, that wouldn't stop me. I would just go like, ow, you hit me with a keg.
You kind of just step out the way and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so now we are the doors burst open. No, they don't even burst them. They open the doors.
I don't even remember.
Somewhat they open the doors as part of their plan, which I don't think they discussed.
I think because the bartender hands Beer Guy a Molotov, and he's like, if you don't fuck this up, I will personally take you to the hospital.
Yeah, so they've made a plan that the audience doesn't know about, but I don't. Yeah, they didn't have a scene of like, so this is the plan, and then fade out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, anyhow, so they must have created this plan. So they've rolled the kegs now down this chute at the monsters. The monster just catches it. They shoot the keg and explodes beer onto the monster. The monster's like, gross, I'm wet. Yeah. And then they roll down a fucking wine barrel, a big one, expecting that's going to be the big fucking hitter. The monster just sidesteps out the way and the barrel rolls past him. And I'm like, well, that. And then they close the door.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
But that's okay because Honey Pie was in that barrel.
Exactly. That was the plan. But I'm like, okay.
Sure. Why not?
Which is the plan that they had in Young Guns too. Like, remember when they when they throw Billy the Kid out in the because they're trying to get rid of like stuff that will, and they throw him out in a chest and he comes out the chest, shoots everyone, which is kind of the same.
Yeah.
So they got Honey, which is an ingenious plan, but I felt like they had too many plans in this movie.
Yeah, was too many plans, too many barricades. Like you fucked it.
Yeah. Anyway.
But she climbs out. She makes a break for the truck. She gets in. She starts it up, and we're like, "Yes, they're saved." But she just fucking drives off
because she's a cunt. Everyone's a cunt in this film.
she's like, "Peace out, motherfucker!" And she just drives away
because she's an idiot. She forgot that they were there. Yeah. she just drives off. She takes the fucking rig and she's out of there. And they're all like, go from smiles to like fucking shattered.
We're in trouble now.
Anyhow, the monster.
We get this great scene because is it the bomb monster? Because fucking bomb monster bursts through.
Yeah, the wall explodes. The wall explodes. So the monsters now have the ability to fucking explode stuff, like they're in My Hero Academia, and they've just upgraded their superpower that they can now explode stuff.
Yeah.
So the monsters now, they've exploded the wall. He walks in, all fucking cool, the monster, and he's in his robes, and he just fucking grabs his suit, his furs, and rips his clothes off to reveal himself. I don't know why he did that.
I don't know, but it looked fucking cool.
It did look cool, and now we see the monster now. He is humanoid. He's skin humanoid. He's got big fucking claws and like backwards running legs a bit. Did he have that? No, he didn't. They had long legs.
They did have long legs, but they're all coming in from all sides now. So now it's kind of like this, like
there's one in the ceiling.
It's a free for all. So you've got one guy. I don't know if it's like fucking Hot Wheels, but he's got like a bear trap, and he just clamps this bear trap onto one of the monsters.
Yeah. Heads. So there's three monsters now. There's ceiling monster, there is inside monster, and there is floor monster. So if you there's one under the floor, one in the ceiling, and one in the room. And the monsters, they have like kind of like, they've got no fur. They're all like slimy, not slimy, but glistening. Mm-hmm. They're all muscly. They've got a fucking, like massive mouth of teeth, like a fucking anglerfish,
it looks so cool. Yeah.
And they're like, and I'm like, you don't look like a monster that would like create a plan or have sex.
No, not at all. And then of course, like poor beer guy's still alive, and he's like, does he have a Molotov in his hand? And it just
so they've smashed a whole bunch of booze over the monster, and his job role was to, I don't know why you'd give a guy who's on death's bed the role of lighting a Molotov and throwing it at something.
I don't know, but he fucks it. He doesn't do it.
No, he walks up to the monster. At first we get. See, this was fucking lame. first we get Heroine 2.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got like a fucking pole with a knife on the end, or a stabby pole. And she just stabs up at the monster in the ceiling like 3 times. And that kills it.
Oh.
That's the last time you ever hear of ceiling monster.
We get to the point now where everything is happening so quickly that I had a bunch of blink and missed it moments. So I was like, what the fuck? I'm not rewinding.
And as I said, there's so much shaky footage here. But yeah, I was like pretty into it at this time. And I was like,
yeah,
she just stabs a ceiling monster with like basically a fishing hook.
Sure.
Like 3 times. And it's never in the film again.
Yeah.
I'm like,
okay.
so, dealt with. I'm like, why didn't they just stab all the monsters twice and make them die?
Don't know. But there's this big old fucking monster. It just basically looks down at Beer Guy and it just sort of screams at him and then just squishes his head.
Yeah, it basically does the fatality on him that Jax does in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Where he does a hand clap and explodes his head. And this looks wicked. This was shockingly realistic.
Yeah, it was so good. I fucking loved it.
And the fact that he's soft as well, because he's like
he's like decomposing.
Like then none of that shit came to pass of him like filling up with maggots and there's something inside of him, and I'm like,
nothing.
All right. Also,
it's fine.
We forgot to mention that when Hot Wheels slams the bear trap into the floor monster's face, that's the end of that one.
Yes.
And I'm like, those are the 2 worst deaths of what appear to be the strongest monsters in monster history.
Yeah.
And smartest, because they're always going about how smart they are.
Well, not smart enough to move their face out of the way of a fucking bear trap.
Or a small spiky spike. Yeah. So I was really disappointed in those 2 monster deaths. I got to say, like, I wanted to see a decapitation or like arms chopped off. They could have they had so much planning in the film and so much barricading. They could have lengthened this last scene to have them break off into groups to deal with the monsters and had some really good, because I like the monster carnage.
Yes.
But it kind of makes up for the last one. The last one's really cool. So now there's one monster left. The inside monster's left.
Yeah.
He's fatality fucking Beer Guy. And then he's trapped inside, and all of a sudden they're kind of fighting him. They're kind of like, he's whacking them out the way in, true lumbering slow monster style at the end.
Yeah. So instead of just ripping throats out, he's just like,
like they can pinpoint an eyeball from outside of a house, but they can't like attack someone who's right in front of them.
No, they're not that strategic. But the poor bartender, he does, because this is like one of those blink and miss moments. I'm like, wait, the bartender's just had his throat ripped out.
No. First, though, they trap the monster underneath the most, unescapable thing in horror movies, a shelf. Do you remember in Evil Dead when Ash just gets stuck under a shelf for a whole fight scene and he can't get out?
Yes, that is everybody's downfall. Is you got to watch out for bookshelves.
Look out for bookshelves. They're
a fucking death trap.
They may just have no, bits to get caught on, but once they're on you, you can't get out.
Yeah, you're done. You're done for.
If a bookshelf falls on you with no books on it as well, and you're alone, you might as well just fucking kill yourself, because there's no way of getting out of that shit.
You're done for.
Anyhow, they capture the monster underneath a bookshelf. And it's thrashing. Oh my God, there's a bookshelf on me. And somehow in the thrashing, the bartender lays down next to the monster for some reason.
Sure.
And gets his throat cut. He's dead. They needed to get him out of the equation. They forgot about him. They had to quickly kill him off. He's dead. It
was 70 minutes into the film as well, just like the title card said.
Yeah. Anyhow, the fucking Heroine 2, she goes to shoot. Now monster's trapped under shelf.
Yes.
She's standing on said shelf. Fucking, they should have just got a whole bunch of shelves and attack these monsters.
Exactly.
But she's standing on the shelf. Now she goes to shoot point blank range with the shotgun. What happens?
Out of bullets.
Out of shells. Out of fucking shells. So what does she do? She flips that shotgun on its back and starts butting the monster in the face with the shotgun. And I'm like, cool. And she just keeps going.
There's teeth flying.
That's the kind of thing you're
flying.
like, That's the kind of thing in movies I was impressed with that, because I'm like, what in movies when you're watching it, why you got it there, do this, you got she just fucking starts power fucking this thing in the face. We can see its teeth getting knocked out, chingling, and bang, 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 and this goes for fucking ages.
Oh yes, it's brilliant.
It's
brutal.
She power fucks this thing in the face with the butt of the shotgun until she is quite happy.
Yes.
That it has no teeth left. She has no threat now. And so now she's just like, you got no teeth, motherfucker. She power punches the monster in the throat and fist fucks its face all the way up to her shoulder and fucking suffocates it through fistation. Is that how you saw that play out?
Did she shove something down its throat though? Like, did she?
No, she just fucking motherfucker punched it in the mouth, and then it went all the way up to her arm, and then and it's like, and she suffocates the monster through power fist.
Yep. Nope, that's okay.
And then she like,
fisting,
and I was like, that's a pretty. So that monster got that was a fucking sick death. The other one's got a fork in it and a fucking and a trap on its face, and it just gave up the ghost. Anyhow, she pulls her arm out, which I was like really waiting for that scene of a slowly retracts her arm out with slime and she's got a fistful of guts as well, like of organs.
And it looks so good.
I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I was expecting like she could have done a double foot stomp on it as well to really
yeah. I mean, she's got nothing to lose at this point. Like, she's got a lot of revenge in her.
And yeah, that's it. What happens next? I apologize. I've been hogging all the best parts of this podcast.
No. Like this is up there with, this is a Dan film. This is a violent gore fest
monster
film.
Fuck off.
So
yeah.
I completely understand. So it's done. The monsters are dead. Bozo helps Hot Wheels, like, hoist him over his shoulder, and the three of them emerge.
The sun comes up.
Is rising.
The sun is there. We can only assume that these monsters don't like the sun.
No, they're dead now, so it doesn't really matter what they like. But they emerge from the bar. They load into Bozo's car, and Tuffy's like, "We got to go get this lady's kid." Because
they had a moment. Tuffy and her had a moment halfway through the film, which we didn't mention. Like, I think she gives her a note with the address of the kid on it. And at first, I didn't know what it was. I thought she was giving her a pendant, which never really went anywhere, that story.
No.
Well, Heroin didn't.
Bozo gets the pendant when he is trying to save her from the monster, and he kind of rips it off her.
Oh, yeah.
So they both have this moment where they're like, she's like, I want to go get the kid. And he's looking at her like, yeah, okay, we've got to go get the kid. But
because I killed her, basically. Yeah. I shot her. I
killed your mum, so I best go fucking get the kid.
So
they load in the car and they go. They start the car.
The music starts.
I really like this as well. We get this like really cool. The car's driving, and then the car just kind of breaks down.
It's stalled, yeah.
And
then the music stops, and they just get out. It's just a static shot this whole time, and we see the car just there for ages.
And then just like Tuffy gets out. She's trying to like push start the car,
and then it starts again.
And it starts again, and they're off.
The music starts again, and they're off. And at this point, I was like, because I didn't even know the ceiling monster died. I'm like, I guess they killed the ceiling monster. I wrote in my notes. Anyway, they go, and we assume that they ride off. They basically drive off into the sunset, assuming to pick up the heroine's daughter, Heroine One's daughter for some reason. Yeah. End. Credits. Well, we get a couple of credits, then we get the post-credit sequence, which is like 4 seconds of like the most like meaningless shit ever.
I hate it.
What happens?
So the grandma emerges from this room, this freezer, and is immediately attacked to this freeze frame. And then it ends.
We can only assume is the ceiling monster who only had a fork in his eye.
Yes, well, because there's 2 more films. There are 2 sequels to this film, so this sets up. There are 2 more films.
Are they the same people?
No.
I wonder if it's got like wonder if they redeem some of the shaky camness.
Maybe.
I bet there's CG in the other ones.
Probably, yeah.
So her storyline was meaningless.
Yeah. it pissed me off. Like this. So this will lead into my final thoughts, because I'm like, I loved that. I didn't want this post-credit scene. I didn't need it. I didn't want it. It makes me mad.
What it could have been was just her in there having a drink, just saying, "Fucking idiots."
Well, because like her plan was to just sit there. She's like, I've got my own plan. Let's just sit and wait it out.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, if they were going to do this post-credit scene, I didn't need her to be attacked. I wanted her to just walk out and be like,
light up a ciggy and have a drink.
Leave.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck did you kill her? Like, fuck you. No.
But it'd be right if she just walked out, lit up a ciggy, and called an Uber. Because the whole time they were like, we got no phone footage coverage, but she had like a better plan.
Yeah, just sit and wait it out. And she did. She sat and waited out, and then they fucking killed her off. Fuck you. No, I hated it. That just pissed me off.
Yeah,
it tarnished the film.
My final thoughts is this film was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think the darkness really like pulled it away, and the shaky cam pulled it away from being wicked.
Yeah.
The gore was great. When there was gore, it was fucking wicked.
Yes.
There was too much planning. The humor was acceptable, but I thought it was trying really hard. Like,
yeah, it was. It was trying to establish something.
Jason Mewes had like one line, and then he wasn't in it. He could have
done so much better.
It's like he was only there for a day or something.
Yeah, they didn't use him to the full extent of Jamie's.
Yeah, it was a great cast, but like too many characters and so many storylines that went nowhere. And I could tell they were trying to create red herrings, but to me, it just seemed like vacuous stories that fucking wasted my time when it could have been like more, not just even more gore, it's more monsters. Yeah. Like kind of extend out that last scene.
Yeah.
Have like the other two monsters have better deaths, like as cool as the other one, but maybe they couldn't afford it. I thought the beer guy's slow riding away was really cool, like that kind of character. But then I didn't get a maggot or anything. You know, there was no monster that burst out of him. And I know they were alluded as one of those red herrings. I was saying to make you think that was going to happen, but it didn't. I'm like, well, waste my time.
Well, we had that really cool scene as well where like we didn't mention it, but like Honey Pie is sitting with him, and
that was funny.
She's being really nice, and he's like, "Does it look all right?" And she kind of lifts up this bandage,
and there's maggots in his eye.
all over his eye, and she's like, "Yeah."
Ooh, she's like,
"It's fine."
He goes, "Is it looking better? Is it nearly healed up?"
Yeah, and then she's like, "I need to go over here now," and she just goes and throws up, and he's like, "Cool."
Yeah, right. What'd you give it?
So look, I got slime, I got blood, I got gore, I got Henry Rollins in pink track pants. This was a lot of fun. I gave it a B. It is definitely a beer and chicken wing group movie.
It's a group movie. It had like all those funny bits. It has it has like, you know, as soon as something's like a comedy horror, it nearly is automatically a beer and chicken wing movie, a group movie. Like, you know, definitely. Get your beer, get your chicken wings. Fuck, I love chicken wings. Usually people get beer and pizza. I get beer and chicken wings, motherfucker.
I'm not like, I like chicken, but I'm not a wing person. I don't like
fuck
bones.
You.
No, look, give me some tenders. We'll have chicken tendies.
Thighs.
No, I want to. Yeah, right.
Chicken
we'll
thighs.
We'll do that. Beer and chicken thighs. So Dan, I picked this one based off of Patrick Roberts' recommendation of a listener request. So what are we going to watch next week?
Next, is it my?
It is yours. Yeah.
I thought it was. Shit! I haven't planned this.
Now you got to pick a film.
I was gonna do. Well, see, I was looking into Necronomicon Book of the Dead, but now I found out it's an anthology, so I was like, nah.
Yeah, I know. We have strong feelings about anthologies.
They're too hard. They give me a headache.
They are very hard. Yeah.
So
that's fine.
I'm trying to think of like, is there some classics that we haven't done? Maybe. I was thinking of maybe like Scanners.
Oh, yeah. We've not done Scanners yet.
Is that a Cronenberg?
That is Cronenberg.
Yeah, I fucking love Cronenberg.
Oh,
Scanners. Yeah. Let's do Scanners with like the manly men. This
the
movie,
manliest of men.
Maybe a short episode because there's just so much theory in this in Scanners and like two good scenes.
That's right. Like, we'll make it our own. We can turn this into whatever.
Scanners next week. Cronenberg. I
love it.
Fucking cool. Is that Michael Ironside?
It is.
How good is his name? Ironside.
Ironside.
Michael Ironside. That's the only way you can say his name.
Yeah, no. You can't just say it normally. That's the rules.
Mm.
But before we sign off, we just want to take a moment to thank the listeners who have been interacting with us over the past fortnight in one way or another. Facebook, whatever. So Nethernoose, Patrick Roberts, Adam Gillespie, Karen Knight, Dave Watson, William Chappell, Bryn Phillips, Nick Chacuti, I apologize. Chacuti, Jeremiah Dotro, and Chris Franks. Thank you guys. So much.
Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us on the line.
Yeah, you are the best. And you have been listening to TerrorVision Horror Podcast with Dan and Jennifer. We are available on all major podcasting services and also on the YouTubes. But no matter where you choose to consume us, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a review, and make sure you share it with all your friends. You can interact with us on both Facebook and Instagram at TerrorVision Pod, which will keep you up to date with upcoming episodes, trivia, and of course, memes that are definitely 3 years old by now. We also have a website. Nothing happening at the moment because I'm really busy with life, but I'll get there.
We're thinking about making a new t-shirt, some new shirts, some new apparel. So you apparel people out there, because all our other stuff's sold. Gone. We might have 1 or 2 left somewhere in a size that that probably that you won't want.
Yeah, we've established that nobody wants to wear a small. Dan is the only one that will wear a small.
Yeah. It's because I'm small. Because I'm little.
You're little.
And until next time, may all your dreams be nightmares.